Oh, this show! I mean, can it get any better? After these last 2 episodes, I think we can all agree that The Mandalorian is the best live-action Star Wars story we've had in decades. Ahsoka Tano was simply outstanding beyond words, and she showed up with a massive reveal for Grand Admiral Thrawn, which is just wow. And then Boba Fett! Boba Fett all day! Dude can shoot rockets from his knees! This show is giving me everything I ever wanted from a Star Wars story. But then there's this thing from Chapter 12. So I guess that's supposed to be a tease for early Snoke or something? Oh boy, I really hope not. The Mandalorian is a breath of fresh air for Star Wars. So is it really the best idea to connect it to the new trilogy? If you ask me, the best thing to do with The Mandalorian is to keep it as far as possible from the new movies. And with that Thrawn reveal, I got some ideas on what the next epic Star Wars story could be. Okay, so first of all, I just watched Chapter 14, and I have to freak out for a sec about Boba Fett. I know, Baby Yoda was captured and rip Razor Crest, but Boba Fett, that was a fanboy's dream come true. Now, let's go back to Chapter 13, where Ahsoka Tano, and she was awesome. I just love how they introduced her, but beyond some amazing lightsaber action, Ahsoka came in with major revelations. First, the artist formerly known as Baby Yoda is actually called Grogu.
Grogu.
Which confirms my theory that Yoda is another deadbeat dad who ran away to live on a swamp planet just so he won't have to deal with the results of his crazy night with Yaddle. That explains so much about this kid. Okay, enough with the jokes. The other big revelation of the episode was that Grand Admiral Thrawn is back. Last time we saw the blue guy was on Rebels, where he vanished into hyperspace with Ezra Bridger. And I am just so happy that they're adding Thrawn into this mix. Hands down, one of the best Star Wars villains. All of this just confirms that The Mandalorian is awesome. This show is exactly what Star Wars needs right now, which is why the show should not connect with the new Disney trilogy.
Use your aggressive feelings, boy. Let the hate flow through you.
I don't want to focus on the negative, but the Star Wars fanbase is very divided about the new movies. It didn't leave the best taste in my mouth, and I don't want this show to become a tie-in for those movies. I will admit, there is a lot of good in those new movies, but also stuff that just didn't work. And having The Mandalorian connect to that story just takes away a lot of my enthusiasm. Sure, it could be awesome to see a young Luke Skywalker show up to train Baby Yoda. But that starts the cycle of pointless questions, such as if Luke trained Grogu, does that mean the Green Rascal died with Luke's other Padawans? This is the issue of connecting the show to the established story of the new trilogy. One of the great things Dave Filoni did with Clone Wars and Rebels is to find ways to tell a contained story without making it feel like it's just there to fill in the blanks. Both of those animated shows took place in between major movies, but Filoni was able to tell his own story. The Mandalorian is shaping up to be a type of a sequel to Clone Wars and Rebels, which is good, because those animated shows are amazing. In fact, Mando's story might be the culmination of the Filoni saga. There are a lot of things that Dave Filoni established in the animated shows, a lot of great expansion of the lore in the universe, not to mention so many amazing characters that are slowly making the transition to live action on The Mandalorian. There is a clear plan in place and a good vision for the story. And for the most part, everyone likes it. And that's what you want, right? A positive fan base that likes the story. The Mandalorian is taking place 25 years before Episode 7. That is a long time to tell countless stories. This is a very big galaxy after all. Which brings us to the best Grand Admiral in the galaxy. Many fans believe that Thrawn is somehow connected to Moff Gideon. He might even be his boss, but I'm not so sure about that. Yeah, Thrawn was part of the Empire last we saw him, but his real motives have always been shrouded in mystery. At this point in the show, the Empire is fractured, shattered into countless factions. For someone like Thrawn, there is very little logic in joining with the remnants of the Empire. Thrawn's real loyalty lies with his own people, the Chiss Ascendancy. I will go into how Thrawn might be back and what I think happened to him after Rebels later, but clearly he's back since Ahsoka is looking for him.
Where is Grand Admiral Thrawn?
With the fall of the Empire, Thrawn will likely be back with his people, conspiring on how to use the current chaotic state of the Republic to benefit the Chiss. The Chiss Ascendancy is located in the unknown regions, and they prefer to stay isolated from other civilizations. The unknown regions of the galaxy were barely explored in the canon. Sure, we traveled there from time to time, but that region has yet to be fully explored in Star Wars stories. The unknown regions are like a maze due to the limited hyperspace routes. They are full of all kinds of dangers like black holes, gravity wells, and far stranger things. And that is a goldmine for storytelling. Now, let's talk about what Thrawn might be planning. Unlike most Star Wars villains, Thrawn isn't evil just for the sake of being evil. He is a strategic genius and a fascinating character. My theory is that Thrawn will use the Chiss Ascendancy to invade the Outer Rim territories, but not to re-establish the Empire or just to conquer for the sake of ruling. Thrawn will do it due to a far bigger threat to the galaxy, something I will address later in the video. The galaxy is in a chaotic state after Return of the Jedi. For the Chiss Ascendancy, now is the perfect time to strike. While their enemies are weak and divided, Thrawn will utilize his experience and brilliance to manipulate everyone and achieve his goals. This could set up something similar to Timothy Zahn's Heir to the Empire trilogy. Mando has a lot of stuff to figure out before then. First, what will happen with Grogu? I assume that Din Djarin will team up with Boba Fett and all of his other friends and defeat Moff Gideon, save his child, and help Bo-Katan get the Darksaber. Although, I would love to see Mando wielding the Darksaber himself. Can't they make more sabers like that? Well, I guess now Mando has that cool Beskar staff, so it's better than nothing. Anyway, Din will help Bo-Katan unite the Mandalorian people, but I'm pretty sure that the Children of the Watch won't be happy about that, so a new Mandalorian civil war is probably only a matter of time. Din will have to choose a side, and everything in Season 2 seems to tease that he will turn away from the cult mentality of the Watch. Regardless of how it will all go down, sooner or later, Thrawn will make his move. The planet Mandalore is located in the Outer Rim, and if the Chiss invade, that means that the Mandalorians will have to defend their home and the rest of the Outer Rim. But eventually, the story will take the heroes into the unknown regions. In the final episode of Rebels, Ezra used the Purgil's ability to travel through hyperspace, and he vanished along with Thrawn. Well, what if they ended up somewhere in the unknown regions and Ezra was captured by the Grysk? Not much is known about these aliens, there aren't even any pictures of them. So that is why I'm going to use some random alien footage while I talk about them. For years now, the Grysk have been teased as this massive threat to the galaxy. They are lurking in the unknown regions and they are preparing for a full invasion. The Emperor sensed something in the unknown regions, and I assume that's the Grysk. In Legends, Palpatine was preparing the galaxy for the invasion of the Yuuzhan Vong, but none of that is canon anymore. But the Grysk are likely the new canon's replacement of the Yuuzhan Vong. As I mentioned before, it's very hard to travel in the unknown regions. The Chiss use Force-sensitive children to travel within the unknown regions. Unfortunately for the Chiss, the Force abilities of these children diminish as they grow older. The Grysk kidnap Chiss Force-sensitive children to achieve hyperspace travel in the unknown regions for themselves. And so, maybe Ezra took himself and Thrawn to the Grysk territories. Ezra was captured, possibly being too weak after that hyperspace jump. But Thrawn is very clever, and he knows his way around the unknown regions. So, he was able to use his skills to escape and go back to his people. Now, imagine if the Grysk got their hands on Ezra, who is a powerful Jedi. Unlike Chiss children, Jedi don't lose their Force abilities as they grow older. So, Ezra and other young Jedi will be essential for the Grysk's full-scale invasion. They might even target Grogu. What a twist it will be if we learn that Thrawn was working behind the scenes all this time, being a type of an anti-hero as he sets events in motion to get everyone in the right place to team up against the Grysk. Enemies will become allies, as Din and the others will have to work with Thrawn to battle against the Grysk. All of this could be the epic endgame of Dave Filoni's universe. A story that started all those years ago in Clone Wars will finally reach its epic culmination. Okay, I will admit this is some wild and baseless fanfiction on my part, guilty as charged, but I much prefer seeing something like this happen than to have the Mandalorian clash with the First Order. So yeah, Star Wars theories, always fun making them, and it's always soul-crushing to see them not coming true. But let's hope that Thrawn will play a big role in the future of Star Wars. Also, if you want and don't mind, drop a like, subscribe, and all of that. It always helps. And with that, we'll see you next time, everybody.